Now, KCAU 9 News starts with your forecast first.
Good evening, Siouxland. Thanks for being with us on this Thursday. As we start things off looking at the radar here, we do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings to tell you about at this moment. As you can see, a storm continuing to work its way through Wayne County right now. That is weakened to some extent, but earlier this afternoon it was producing some heavy downpours and hail. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning that is happening in Sioux County. That was able to produce some golf ball sized hail near the city of Rock Valley. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued toward Plymouth and Sioux counties, lasting until 6:30 tonight, with another chance of seeing some hail drop out of that storm too. Severe thunderstorm watches are going to last until 9 o'clock tonight. We'll have updates on some cooler weather to follow in the 9 on 9 forecast. KCAU 9 News at 6 starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sophie Erber.
And I'm Tim Seaman. As schools across Siouxland begin another year, many students find themselves fighting back butterflies as they head back into the classroom.
That's right, and that's something that's probably not all that unusual, but now counselors are saying something more serious could be impacting kids. What parents are being reminded of in our top story at 6. This year, school administrators say they're hoping to have as normal a school year as possible. There have been 3 years since Corona started, but some students continue to report they're experiencing lingering mental health side effects from the COVID-19 pandemic.
School counselors here in Siouxland say anxiety, stress, and depression are common for students to feel, even without a pandemic. Kelly Ron is a counselor at South Sioux City Middle School. She says the worst thing a person can do when feeling these kinds of emotion is to ignore them.
The goal is not to eliminate anxiety, but to manage it. That's really the important thing that we want parents to know. And so avoiding anxiety is really impossible. So we have to give kids strategies.
Coming up tonight at 10, KCAU 9's Tyler Euchner shares what ways students and their families can deal with stress and anxiety, some as easy as getting recommended amounts of sleep and also by staying hydrated.
South Sioux City is one of the earliest Siouxland districts to take students back in the classroom. K-12 students returned on August 12th. Dakota Valley followed with students back in the classroom just yesterday. Here in Sioux City, the public school district, along with Sergeant Bluff, Luton, and Hinton, all will welcome students back August 23rd, with Bishop Heelan going just a day later on the 24th.
Every county in Iowa is receiving $1,000 to make their polling locations more accessible. But Woodbury County officials say their venues are already up to code. Pat Gill is the commissioner of elections in Woodbury County. He learned about a month ago the county would receive these funds. Gill says while the polling venues in Woodbury County are accessible for disabled people, he hopes the county can still take advantage of the money that was given.
We are still looking at an opportunity to use that $1,000, but we just need to know what we can use it for. But so, as I said, we're in pretty good shape as far as polling places go, accessible polling places.
He says county officials communicate with members of the disabled community every election cycle to make sure they do have sufficient access to these polling locations.
The Northeast Nebraska Senior Center in South Sioux City is hoping supporters will jump in and get involved in a new fundraiser. The center has received a challenge grant from local philanthropist Regina Roth. That grant matches all support donations up to $20,000. The center is known for providing Meals on Wheels to seniors in the area, but the facility is currently closed for renovation and the kitchen needs to be upgraded in order to comply with a city code.
The Lamar's Police Department tonight is asking for the public's help in a case involving a damaged fire pit. Officials say sometime between the late evening hours of August 12th and the early morning hours of August 13th, the fire pit area of the Lamar's Municipal Park was damaged. The cost of destruction of the fire pit is estimated at around $3,500. If anyone has information about this incident, they're asked to call the number there at the bottom of your screen. That's the Plymouth County Crime Stoppers at 712-548-4968. The city of Lamar's and the county's Crime Stoppers are offering a $1,000 reward for any information on this incident. And today, warm summer temperatures here in Siouxland. Parts of the area, though, getting a little rain as we speak. Let's check in with the expert chief meteorologist, Scott Larson.
That's right, Sophie. We've been watching the radar throughout the afternoon, and over the past 3 or 4 hours, we've started to see some of those thunderstorms develop. A severe thunderstorm watch does remain in effect until 9 o'clock tonight, where you see that reddish pinkish color on your screen, including the Sioux City Metro here. Again, that lasts until 9 o'clock tonight. Reviewing the radar loop over the previous 3 hours, you can see that we have one strong storm there still left near Pender, Nebraska. The warning has been dropped off of that particular storm. Where we've seen the most intensification is in parts of Plymouth and Sioux counties, where there is still the possibility of some hailstones up to the size of golf balls. That's about 1.75 inches in diameter as that storm continues to move in toward Lamar's, and that northern storm closer toward Sioux Center. More information coming up in the full 9 on 9 forecast. I'll send things back to you, Tim.
All right, Scott, and let us know if you need to cut back in. Nebraska health officials tonight confirming a child likely died recently of a suspected infection from a brain-eating amoeba. Now, the Douglas County Health Director was on hand for a press conference just today, acknowledging that the child passed away after swimming in the Elkhorn River on August 8th. The CDC is conducting tests to confirm if it's the same rare amoeba that appeared in central Iowa earlier this summer. Health experts report the child showed symptoms 5 days after swimming. Officials also say that they're urging the public to be aware of the amoeba whenever they're out in water.
And to take precautions when they are being exposed to any warm freshwater sources out in public. So lakes, streams, ponds, those types of sources are really where you're going to see your highest risk.
This is the first known case of its kind in the Omaha area, and Nebraska Health and Human Services confirms that it would be the first known death from an amoeba in the state. That is, again, if it's confirmed.
A roundtable was held in Iowa today discussing market development for the U.S. Some of the main takeaways from that discussion included opening up trade access with countries, how to keep the country competitive in the global market, and fight high prices as a result of inflation. USDA Secretary and former governor of Iowa, Tom Vilsack, attended this roundtable event, and he says the Inflation Reduction Act is the largest investment in conservation since the Dust Bowl. Vilsack spoke about how the country is working to combat high fertilizer prices tonight.
As you know, certainly understand and appreciate the requests on the tariffs, but we are moving forward pretty aggressively on an effort to try to become more self-reliant when it comes to fertilizer. I expect and anticipate this fall we're going to be making some announcements as it relates to our fertilizer initiative.
The roundtable was hosted by Iowa Representative Cindy Axne in Woodward. That also featured U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai.
Each year, music plays a big part in the Iowa State Fair, whether from the grandstand concerts or out on the fairgrounds. Well, the Polka Club of Iowa turned up the tunes at the Farm Bureau Pioneer Hall today. The group has been holding polka dances all across the state since the mid-1970s. For the less experienced, polka lessons were even offered, and among those taking advantage was Governor Kim Reynolds.
Well, I'm telling you what, that's a workout. How fun. I had a great teacher. He got me through that in a great shape, so much fun.
It was outstanding. I taught her how to do it. Once around the floor, she knew exactly how to do it.
Former Vice President Mike Pence will be at the State Fair tomorrow. No word if he'll be taking lessons, but he will appear with Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley. Pence is scheduled to attend a Republican Party event Saturday. That's in Waverly. For anyone competing on a national level of sorts, it can mean spending plenty of time away from family.
That's right. Now, one team from Nebraska, the Anglers, is using a unique support system to stay competitive. We'll tell you coming up.
And we've had bright sunny skies through most of the day, but as we look off to the north of our KCAU-9 studio, you can see some of those thunderstorms that are affecting parts of Plymouth and Sioux counties right now. A severe thunderstorm watch lasting until 9 o'clock tonight. More details right after the break.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Tim Seaman, Sophie Erber, Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson, and Sports Director Anthony Mitchell. This is KCAU 9 News at 6.